Hi, I'm Michelle and I love pottery. I also love the animated series, The Great North. I'm working my way through making mugs of the Tobin family, and this video marks halfway through throwing all of the family's mugs. I've already thrown dirts, beefs, and wolves, and today I'm going to throw Honeybee Shaw-Tobin's coffee mug. Honeybee's mug is just perfect for her. I love that the mugs each character uses really reflects a bit of their personality. Honeybee's mug is fairly tall and tapered with a smaller base and a wider brim. It has a half heart-shaped handle and is white and decorated with little purple wine glasses. I'm planning to make a stamp to do the wine glasses, so I'm looking forward to decorating this mug. But first, we have to make it. So let's get to work. All right, we're throwing Honeybee's mug with this is a 900 gram ball of brown stoneware clay, standard brand. I'm gonna get this centered. Honeybee Shaw-Tobin is married to Wolf, and she's originally from Fresno, California. They met in a movie quote chat room and chatted and texted each other a lot. Really liked hanging out with each other, and Honeybee decided to come up. They met each other halfway at there's a diner in Final Destination. I think it was in Vancouver, Washington. And they met and really hit it off, and Honeybee decided to move to Alaska. And she made this plunge when she was kind of faced with her entire future laid out in front of her. Her parents own a drape shop in Fresno, and they were expecting her to take on the business because she has a business degree. But that's not really where her passions lie. And she was on this date with a childhood friend that she wasn't really interested in a relationship, but he had kind of thought they would end up together. He said, yeah, I'll probably take over my family's shop and live in Fresno for my whole life, and I've already got a burial plot in Fresno. And Honeybee just like freaked out because she's just too adventurous and entrepreneurial to live someone else's dreams, her parents or anyone else's. So she had to go and find out what hers was. And she met Wolf, and I imagine they had a lot of fun, and they just get each other. They're the same kind of weird. So she moved up to Alaska. She drove up from Fresno, and she and Wolf got married, of course. I actually relate a lot to Honeybee because I moved across the country and quit a desk job to follow my dreams. So I was definitely rooting for her when we were learning about how she met Wolf. And Honeybee is voiced by Dulcé Sloan, and Dulcé is a comedian and actor. She was a Daily Show correspondent before voicing Honeybee on The Great North. Okay, got this centered. I'm just going to push down in the middle and make an opening in the cup. This is the inside of the mug, and I'm making it, it's a big ball of clay. I'm making it kind of large because it's a very tall cup, and when clay dries and fires and gets what's called fully vitrified, so it shrinks down to the point where it's no longer porous, no water or bacteria can grow in it, and that's when it's food safe. But it shrinks a lot from even the weight of the clay, because all of the water comes out of it as it dries, and then it fires and shrinks down. And then when you glaze it and fire it again, it shrinks even further. And I want to make sure that we have some good height in the final product for this cup. I'm just going to dry out the water in the bottom here and compress the base. The bottom of the mug, the very base, is a little bit smaller in diameter than the top. It tapers out a bit as you go up. So I'm going to keep this inside fairly narrow, not just keeping in mind that it'll shrink, so I don't want it to be too top heavy when it is finished. Okay, I'm good with the size of the inside. We've got that compressed. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling off the walls. So Honeybee has a brother named Jerry Bee. I don't think they ever talked about the bee suffix in the names, but I love it. My child actually has we call them Baby Bee before watching this show, so it always made me smile. So Jerry Bee followed Honeybee to Alaska, and he found his own way. Initially, he followed Honeybee because he thought that her passion might be his passion. And I guess he kind of did that fairly often in their childhood, taking the same classes and picking up the same hobbies that Honeybee would do. And he always ended up hating them. So when he moved to Alaska, she was worried that he wouldn't like Alaska. It's not for everyone, right? It's a lot of hard work. And fortunately, Jerry Bee found joy in doing gigs as Bigfoot. So he got a Bigfoot costume, fursuiter, I think they're called. But he would love to do surprises for his friends. And he actually went up to Alaska to do what he called a pizza surprise. So he would order a pizza and bring it to his friend's house just randomly without telling him he was coming over. And he'd show up. You know, if you were upset that he would show up unannounced, well, at least he had a pizza. So anyway, Jerry Bee did find his own way in Alaska, and Honeybee really loved having him there, having her more family with her. Honeybee really took to Alaska very well. She actually found her way through a blizzard at one point. She was always coming up with great business plans. And one of her role models, one of her kind of heroes and recurring character in the show, is Guy Fieri. And he would show up in like fantasies with Honeybee, just kind of daydreams, giving her that pep talk that she needs to feel motivated to do what it is that she needs to do. Kind of help get her perspective, give her additional perspective. Okay, so we're getting nice height on this cup. I'm going to clean up the base a little bit. cleaning the base is going to make it easier to take off the rim, gives us less to trim when the time comes. So just cleaning that up a bit. Okay. A fun fact about Honeybee is that she loves Halloween and the supernatural. They did a seance to talk to a ghost, and the Shaws always go all out for Halloween. Very spooky haunted house style decorations. She decorated the Tobin house for Halloween one year, and it was intense. Jerry B was not as enthusiastic about it, and neither was the Tobin family, but you know, it's just something that Honeybee loves and it makes her happy. Okay, got an okay shape. I'm just going to use my sponge and pull the walls a little bit more up and start shaping them more out. I really relate a lot to Honeybee, and I love hers and Wolf's relationship. They're so cute together, and they always have each other's backs. They're always up for an adventure, and they always have so much fun together. It's just really cute and cool to see on TV. You don't see couples that really just enjoy being around each other very often. The other couple that does I can think of is well, Bob and Linda from Bob's Burgers, so might just be that writing crew. Anyway, got this angled, it's up. It's still a little bit thick on the base, so I'm going to pull this up one more time. Just bringing it slowly, drawing the clay up, giving it a little more height. Oh, it's starting to catch a little bit, getting dry, so I'm going to wet that. Just continue that pull. And when you do a pull with the clay, you can use your knuckle, you can use your hands, you can use a sponge. There are tons of ways to do it. Really kind of depends on your piece and where you are in the process of pulling, and you know what your preference is too. It's kind of a cool thing about working with clay. The main thing is that you listen to it. You pay attention when the clay starts moving in a way that you don't want it to. You've got to listen to just there, right? It's starting to catch on my hand because I'm running out of water. So it's not something that you can just kind of mindlessly throw together. You have to be paying attention to the clay. You have to be paying attention to your hands. I am prone to bonkiness, so I've really had to train myself to be deliberate with my movements and make sure that I'm keeping my hands together. Because once you have your hands separated, it's harder to coordinate them, right? So when you're pulling up, see, I'll lean my thumb on my other thumb just to keep my hands together and moving in tandem. Okay, that looks like some pretty good height we've got here. Okay, and here I'm compressing the rim. I'm just gonna clean it up. I'm happy with this angle because on the inside, it's actually more tapered. You can't see it as well with this base, but when I trim it, I'll be able to take off this excess clay at the base, and you'll really be able to see how it tapers up. So I'll clean up the edges here with my metal rib. I'm happy with that. I think Honeybee would be proud of that mug. And next up, we will throw Ham's coffee mug. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time, and stick around to see what they all end up looking like.